Therefore he will have mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will, he hardeneth.
Whom he will, he hardeneth. Meaning he make them go against him. We like, oh, well, what about the so-called white man? The Lord don't love him? No. The Lord said whom he hardeneth. The Lord hardened him so he can destroy him. It's going to tell you that in the scripture. Read.
Thou wilt say then unto me, why do you yet find fault?
The Lord, you hear the Lord? I'm going to show you something real quick. What we living is not all what we think we do what we want to do. No, we ain't doing what we want to do. God came up with a script from the beginning. You see what I'm saying? He said, okay, you're going to be Esau, which is the white people. You're going to be Israel, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You Hamites, you Africans. You're going to be Ham. You're going to come from Ham. He created all the spirits, and he said, this is who you're going to be. And you couldn't do nothing about it. You had to agree with it. Right. This is going to the spirit world before the earth was even created. You see what I'm saying? And so, read that.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 46 and verse 10. Declaring the end from the beginning.
It says God declared the end from the beginning, before the earth was even created. Read.
And from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand.
No, he said the thing. Read the part again.
And the things that are not yet done.
So the things that are not yet done, meaning slavery, right now, black on black crime, it wasn't done when he created all this. He said the things that are not yet done, meaning, but it was gonna be done. Why? Because the Lord is his script. And he got angels working for him. You see what I'm saying? It's powers around us. That's what we have to realize. Read on.
Saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Calling.
He said, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. What's his pleasure? The Bible. Go to Deuteronomy 1:1. Watch this. So he said, I will do all my pleasure. Meaning everything I said, because there's prophecies in this Bible. Nuclear wars in the Bible. You see what I'm saying? Slavery is in the Bible. You see, we read slavery right now. Because the people that at that time, they weren't in slavery. I'm going to show you something real quick. Watch this. Read that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Who Moses speak to?
All Israel.
So he's speaking to all Israel. I went there, now go to 28. I went to 1 and 1 to show you who's being spoken to, who's speaking. It's Moses speaking to the Israelites. 28:15.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe.
You heard that, Jay? So I went back there to show you what's going on. He said, so this is Moses still speaking to Israel, the Israelites. Read it from the top again.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments.
To do all his commandments.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
This is the Creator. He created everything. He said, you gonna keep my laws. Basically what he's telling them. Oh, you gonna either keep, it's the blessings and the curses. You gonna keep my law and be blessed, or you gonna keep my law and be cursed. Because I'm the Creator. I'm the high power. Read on. Jump 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
So they broke the law. So one of the curses, but at this time, they didn't break the law. At this time, they had never broke the law. Read that from the top again.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
He said, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given to another people. What is he saying? He said, you're going to break the law. He said, he's basically telling them, you're going to break my law. You're going to go against me. Read it from the top again.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
So how did he know that they was going to break his law? Because he's the Creator. That's how he meant for it to be that way. Because why? We living out his script. You see what I'm saying? That's right. Go to Proverbs 20 and 24. Let me show you something real quick, Jay. Watch this. We just living out the script of the Lord. Only thing we can do is find out who we are and what he was requiring of us, because this thing coming to an end. I don't know if everybody know it or not, this thing is coming to an end. All empires on this earth that rule always came to an end. Always came to an end. America's at its end. Read.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 24. Man's
goings, whatever you do in your life,
are of the Lord.
Are of the Lord. Read.
How can a man then understand his own way?
How you going to understand your own way? This is how you understand your own way. If you ain't into this and know what's going on, you got to have the script. You got to pay attention to the script, and you won't know your own way unless you pay attention to the script. Go back to where we was at. Okay, what was we at in Isaiah? Was that Deuteronomy? Now go back to Deuteronomy 28 and, no, go to 48. Watch this right here, Jay. I ain't going to hold you too long. I know you got to go. Give me that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shall thou...
So they broke the law. Remember, what's your name? Matthew and Jay. He said, read that part again.
Therefore shall thou serve thine enemy.
Therefore shall thou serve thy enemy. Because I remember, the reason I brought, I went all the way, the long way to show you, because you said something about, you said something about we was conquered, right? You said we were conquered and we went to war, we lost the war.
No, that's not what I said.
Okay.
I said how slavery began in Africa, when slavery was always in Africa, because in Africa, whoever lost the fight became slaves after that.
Go to Joel 3 and 1. I'm gonna show you something real quick.
As they was fighting,
whoever lost the fight.
Where Africans became other Africans. Other Africans was fighting with other Africans, so they enslaved with other slaves.
Gotcha.
But when you have too many slaves and then somebody comes in and offers to buy them slaves from you, what you do?
You gonna sell them.
So that's what happened with the Spaniards. The Spaniards traded with the Africans, whether it be guns, whether it be bombs, or everything like that, brought them to send us to Cuba, Jamaica, where I'm from, and Haiti, where my mother's from. They took them from there, and then traded them off to America, where we was also put into another type of slavery where we was beaten and traded and taught the Bible.
I know where you're going. I got you. I get the gist of it. You to a certain degree, you correct, but it's a little bit in there that, and we all thought that way until we got the script. You see what I'm saying? Cause it's a lot of truth to what you said, but it missed. Watch it, Jay. You're missing something. This is what happened though. Watch this.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah.
So that's what this is talking about now. Read that part again from the top.
For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah.
Of Judah, that's going to Israel, the southern kingdom.
And Jerusalem.
And Jerusalem is going to the northern kingdom. So the southern Judah would be the black American blacks, West Indian blacks, and Levi, which is the Haitians. That would be southern kingdom. When you go down from the Puerto Ricans all the way down to the other Hispanic tribes and the Native American, that would be Jerusalem. So southern kingdom and northern kingdom make up the whole nation of Israel, which are the Israelites. Read on.
I will also gather all nations.
He said, read that part again.
I will also.
Before that.
For behold, in those days and in that time when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
Meaning he going to start to bring them out of captivity, because we in captivity right now. You know what I'm saying? Because we never went back to where we're from. We in captivity. Read on. He said he going to start to bring them out of the captivity. That's what he said. I'm going to bring the captivity. Read on.
I will also gather all nations.
He said while he's doing this, he's going to gather all nations, meaning Russia, Ukraine. Ain't Russia, Ukraine at war right now? He said, I'm going to gather all nations. Okay? He's talking about Iran. He's talking about Iraq. All nations outside of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native America. He said, I'm going to gather all nations.
I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
That's in the Middle East. I will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. That's where this war is going to be taking place. Israel's going in there too. Read on.
I will plead with them.
He going to do what?
Plead with them.
Let's go to Isaiah 6:15. Let's show how the Lord plead. Like, is the Lord pleased? No. Let's show how the Lord plead. We're going to show, because in Christianity, they don't show how the Lord plead. They think God is all hugs and kisses. Let's show how the Lord plead. Read.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 66 and verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind.
His chariots going into what they call UAPs. You ever heard about the unidentified aerial phenomenons? And they used to call them UFOs. He said, read the front top again.
For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariot.
And his chariots spinning. Read.
Like a whirlwind.
They spin. Read.
To render his anger with fury.
Render his what?
His anger with fury. And his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh.
He said, by fire and his sword shall the Lord plead. Remember, we was going to try to find out how he pleads. He said, shall the Lord plead with all flesh. Read.
And the slain of the...
And the what?
And the slain.
What did it mean to be slain, Jay? To be killed. He said, and the slain.
And the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Shall be many, millions. Let's go back to where we was at. So that's talking about, we coming up on this time, what we read right here. Read.
For draw 3 and...
Where we left off.
For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of...
Drop down. We passed that.
Verse 2, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
So what you see going on, I know y'all seen the news, Ukraine, Russia. That's the Lord. That's the Lord stirring these things up. He's stirring it up for us. You got to get the Bible. You got to get the understanding of the Bible to be able to keep up with the script. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of people think we out here crazy. Like we don't know what the hell we talking about. No, we got the script. He put the spirit on our leadership to show us what time it is in these last days. Right. We see things working. We already know all praise to the Most High. Because he bringing us out of this captivity. And we're going to be sitting in our own land. Right. Read on.
And will plead with them. Therefore, for many of my people.
Read that right.
I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. And will plead with them. There for my people and for my heritage, Israel.
Who's God's heritage?
Israel.
We're God's heritage. Read.
Whom they have scattered among the nations.
What they do? They have scattered us among the nations on these ships right here. Come on, somebody hold this sign for me. They said they have scattered. That's how they scattered us on ships. Like you just said, Jay. You just said they took some of us into. I'm reading to you how exactly it went down. You said they took some of us to Cuba. I'm showing you what happened. It's going to tell you who did it too. Read.
Whom they have scattered among the nations.
Whom they have did what?
Scattered among the nations.
They have scattered us among the nations, all over the globe. Read.
They have cast lots for my people, and I've given a boy for an harlot.
Give me the auction block. Who got the auction block sign? Read it on top again.
And they have cast lots for my people.
They did what?
Cast lots of my people.
To cast a lot, it's an auction. He said they have cast lots for my people.
And I've given a boy for an harlot.
I mean, they made the boys breeders. They had breeding farms where they take a big buck and they would breed him amongst, because they were trying to make more and more big bucks. Read on.
And sold a girl for wine.
And they sold a girl for wine. I mean, they party with our women. You see what I'm saying? Sold her for wine, bed wenches. They said they sold a girl for wine. They got drunk and party over our women. Read.
And Zidian.
Come on, read that right.
Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
He said, oh, what have ye to do with me, O Tyre? Tyre are the ancient Africans. So we just went to the Africans. Remember you said Africans? He said, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon? Read.
And all these coasts and Philistine.
Well, and all the coasts of the Philistine, meaning the Palestinians, which would be going to the Arabs. Do we have that sign also? So basically, okay. So basically, this is what happened. The Arabs and African got together and sold us to the so-called white man. It wasn't Africa. We're not African. We Israelites. You see what I'm saying? Two dark nations. So he's going to get his Bible dictionary. And the Bible dictionary, they tells you that they know the blacks over here in America, the blacks in Brazil, they're not the same. They say they're not African. They know that. In their books. You see what I'm saying? So what happened was, because if you think about it, the African don't really deal with us over here in America. Right. They don't deal with us. So, and you can kind of see that spirit on them. They don't like us really. And the Arabs, we already know they don't deal with us. So what happened was the Arabs and the Africans got together, and because before the transatlantic slave trade, you had the sub-Saharan slave trade, where they was taking us into Iran, Iraq, India, China. You see what I'm saying? So you know some things. You know what I'm saying? It's just that you just got to come full circle. That's all. You pretty much there, but you just come full circle with the thing. I got you. I can deal with you, Jay. I can deal with you. Come on, read that.
Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood.
He said Ham was the youngest son of Noah. He was born when?
About 96 years before the flood. And one of the 8th person to live through the flood.
But you had Noah, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, and their wives. So Noah and his wife, Shem and his wife, which are the Israelites come out of Shem. I'm telling you, the so-called white man come out of Shem. The so-called Arabs come out of Shem, but they're not the chosen lineage. The chosen lineage was Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So that's how we became Israel, because we came out of the lineage of Jacob. You see what I'm saying? He said he became the progenitor of what?
He became the progenitor,
meaning the forefather
of the dark races.
Of the what?
Of the dark races. Not the Negroes.
Not what?
Not the Negroes. But the Egyptians.
But the Egyptians. The Egyptians are what? The Egyptians are what? Africans, right? Read.
Ethiopians.
The Ethiopians would be what? Cushites. Africans, right?
Libyans.
The Libyans would be what? Africans. Northern Africa. Read.
And Canaanites.
And Canaanites would be a tribe that was in southern Africa. But it said not the Negroes. They know something. Well, what the hell have they been teaching us? Y'all, so one thing they'll teach you is, how y'all gonna blame us for slavery? Africans sold other Africans in slavery. No, it ain't happen like that. No, the Africans and the Arabs sold the Israelites into slavery. Sold the Jews into slavery. You see what I'm saying? It's a difference. Yeah, we dark. You got Chinese and Japanese. They're not the same people. You see what I'm saying? Really, when you look at it, you got Arabs that as dark as us. The East Indians are dark like us. You see what I'm saying? But so what they try to do is they try to confuse us now. Why? Because, give me Isaiah 1 and 3. Come on. This is why they try to confuse us. Because we are a product of their captivity. We were conquered from them. We were conquered, and they took us and stripped us of our heritage. We didn't know nothing. So they feel like they can feed us anything. They can tell us anything. Why? Because we don't know nothing. Give me that.
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner.
Yes, the ox is a dumb animal. He know who his owner is. Read.
And the ass his master's crib.
And a stubborn animal, a jackass, know where his home is. Read.
But Israel.
But who?
But Israel doeth not know.
Where your homeland at? Where's your homeland? Anybody know where their homeland is? Where you from?
From?
Yeah.
Jamaica. Jamaica, but my father and my mother is West Indian.
West Indian, but they weren't always there.
No.
But where you were your people from?
My people from?
I'm not doing it to belittle you. I'm trying to show you guys. That's why I just read. You don't know y'all don't know where y'all people from.
Israelites and everything.
They don't know where they from. Because it wasn't meant for you to know. Read it from the top again.
The ox knoweth his owner.
He says the ox, this is God speaking about his people, the Israelites. He said the ox knoweth his owner. This is a dumb animal. Read.
And the ass his master's crib.
He said, and a jackass, a donkey, know where his homeland is. Read.
But Israel doeth not know.
He said, but Israel don't even know. They don't know where they're from. They don't know who their owner is. Right. That's almost like an insult. He's insulting us. He said, you got a dumb ox and you got a stubborn jackass. They know this much about themselves, but y'all don't know. He said, but Israel don't even know. Read.
My people do not consider.
He said, my people don't even consider to know who their owner is, who they are, and where their homeland is. They don't even consider. They don't even care, basically, what the Lord is saying. Because the Lord knows, give me that in, you got to go, Jay? Yeah. One more. Give me that in Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Then I'm going to get it to somebody else. Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Come on.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68.
I want you to lead with, did you get a flyer? Yeah. Okay, I want you to lead with this. Read.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
This is still in the curse. We went back to Deuteronomy 28. He said, and the Lord shall bring thee, meaning the Israelites, into what?
Into Egypt again.
Let's go with Egypt. Find out what Egypt is. So a lot of people think Egypt it was always called Egypt, the country. Egypt is not, it's a Greek word that means restraint. Okay? Bondage. Read. And the Bible proves that. Read that.
The book of Exodus chapter 20 verse 2. I am the Lord thy God.
He said, I'm the Lord thy God. Thy God. That's a possessive word. He said, Israel, I'm the Lord your God. Read.
Which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
So they walked out of the land of Egypt. Remember when Moses split the part of the Red Sea? They walked out then. Read.
Out of the house of bondage.
Out of what?
Out of the house of bondage.
So Egypt is synonymous for bondage. What's another word for bondage?
The book of Exodus chapter 20 verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Okay, out of the house of bondage. Okay. We established that. Read on.
Deuteronomy 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Into what again, Jay? Bondage again. Remember, because they walked out that time.
Yeah.
He said, but I'm going to send y'all back again. But remember, they hadn't even went yet. Because you got to realize, when he brought them out of Egypt that time, he destroyed Egypt. The Egyptians, he destroyed them. Killed all their firstborn. And when they was giving them gold, silver, for them to come out of the land. You see what I'm saying? So they was on top right during that time. So, because the Lord was in their favor. So watch this. Read it from top again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
Because they walked out that time. He said, well, he told them, I'm going to bring y'all back into Egypt because he knew they was going to break his laws. Remember, we still reading the curses. He said, I'm going to bring you back into Egypt again with what?
With ships.
So this is a product, and this is when it happened. This is when it happened, when we came over here on slave ship. Remember we read Isaiah 46 and 10? Declaring the end from the beginning. He already knew what was going to happen. He said, y'all going to go into slavery with ships. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
He said, by the way I'm telling you this. Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
They ain't going to see their homeland again. Read.
And there you shall...
There, once they get off them ships.
And there you shall be sold unto your enemies.
When we sold, when we came over here, we were sold. Auction blocks. Yeah, auction blocks all over here. Auction block. They were selling this. You shall be sold unto your what?
Unto your enemies, for bondmen and bondwomen. And no man shall buy you.
And that word buy you means, it's an old Quaker word meaning redeem you. Meaning, because give me Luke 1:68, then you can come get the money back. This is the last one right here, Jay. Luke 1:68. He said, and no man shall buy you. Buy you is an old Quaker word that means redeem. So this is the only person that's going to be a redeemer. This is how we're going to be redeemed. Read that.
The book of Luke chapter 1 verse 68. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel.
That's talking about, blessed be the Lord God of Israel.
For he hath visited and redeemed his people.
He said he have redeemed us because he put us in captivity. But now he's going to bring, now what you're seeing now, the prophets being rose up on the earth. And then as we raising up, you're seeing conflict in the Middle East. You see what I'm saying? Because war is coming. We could we could show that in the Bible. Nuclear wars is coming to America. America's gonna be destroyed. This is Babylon the Great. Right. This is that wicked kingdom that the Lord always spoke of. This is Babylon. Read.
He hath raised up a horn of...
And I know you see it. All this homosexual activity, transgenders. The Lord hates this place. Read.
And have raised up an horn of salvation for us.
He raised up a horn of salvation for us. How? Because Christ died for us. Because God was supposed to do away with us. Because we broke his laws. He was supposed to do away with us. But he offered his son to redeem us. Read. Christ ain't died for everybody. He died for the Israelites, the blacks, Hispanics, Native American. Christianity had took this book and then they put their own spin to it. Read.
For us in the house of his servant David.
He said for us, meaning he have redeemed us. Read that from the top again.
And have raised up a horn of salvation.
Christ is the horn of salvation.
For us in the house of his servant David.
Because Christ came from the lineage of King David. Read.
As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophet.
So the prophets from old times spoke on the coming of Christ. Read.
Which have been since the world began. That we should be saved from our enemies.
That we should be what?
Shall be saved from our enemies.
I don't know if you knew it or not, Jay and Matthew. We can't get out of here unless Christ come and get us. Because I'm going to show you one way we know this. Don't you got to get a passport to leave this country? That's like a hall pass. I thought we were free. You know what I'm saying? Read that. You can't go hunt without asking them permission to hunt.
Can't go fish without
can't go fishing without asking them permission to fish. That's captivity. Read. Even if you, hey, the Lord made fish and animals for everybody to have. But they took everything, they conquered everything and put a stranglehold on it. Read.
That we should be saved from our enemies.
He said that we shall be saved from our enemies. Read.
And from the hand of all that hate us.
So we are hated. Come on back up. We are hated in this world. We are despised. He said, so Christ said he's going to have to save us from our enemies because they're not going to just let us go free and just go and let it set us up. No, Christ got to come and shut this thing down. And that's what you got, the coming war. It's going to be like what they call the war of Armageddon. That's Christ coming back with 200, how many that is? 200 million angels to shut this thing down. And they said it's going to be an hour. It's going to take an hour. I got one more, Jay. You got time? One more, and then I'm going to let you go. Romans 9:13. Real quick. We're going to speed through this. I'm going to show you something real quick. And then I'm going to let you go after this. I'm going to show you what the Lord is doing. Read.
The book of Romans chapter 9 verse 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved.
Jacob is the forefather of the Israelites. He said, Jacob have I loved.
But Esau have I hated.
And Esau is Edom, her people. What you got to realize is it's Jacob and Esau. It's the war. This world is based off white and black. Jacob and Esau. Everybody else just follow whoever ruling. All the Arabs, the Chinese, Japanese, they just roll with whoever is in rulership. You know what I'm saying? But the main fight is Jacob, which are the Israelites, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native American, and Esau, Edom, which are the so-called white people. I say so-called because they're not white, they're red.
That's right.
Read.
As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then?
And Paul said, what shall we say then? Because God hate Esau. Read.
Is there unrighteousness with God?
Is God unrighteous? Read.
God forbid.
No.
God forbid.
Go ahead.
For he have said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy.
So he said, I can have mercy who I want to have mercy. Whatever God said. Read.
And I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion.
And I can have compassion on who I want to have compassion on. Read.
So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy.
God, he said, it's me who showeth mercy, who I want to show mercy on. Read.
For the scripture said unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up.
So he compared the so-called white people to Pharaoh. Remember in the time of the Egyptians. He said, in the scripture say unto Pharaoh, he said, even for this same purpose, because Egypt was a superpower back then. He said, even for this same purpose, how have I raised thee up? He comparing them how he raised up Egypt back in the days. That's how he raised up the so-called white man these last days. Watch this. I mean, he's going to tell you why. Watch.
That I might show my power in thee.
What God want to do?
That I might show my power in thee.
God said he raised him up. He allowed him to get nuclear missiles. He allowed him to get lasers. What he got? Anti-matter guns. Stuff we ain't never seen before. God said, so he could do what?
That I might show my power in thee.
He said, I'm going to raise him up as much as I can so I can crush him. That's what the Lord doing.
Right.
That's what I say. We got to get with the script.
Right.
And come on in. Because the Lord, he's raising him up so he could crush him. He's going to send his son back and the angels, and they're going to crush him. Read.
And that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
He said, then I want my name declared in all the earth. Because we don't think about the Lord. People don't think about the Lord on this earth. You got homosexuality. He said, I'm going to crush him. I'm going to show everybody on earth that I'm the Lord. Read.
Therefore he have a mercy on whom he will have mercy.
That's why I got mercy on these people right here, on whom I will have mercy. Read.
And whom he will have, he hardeneth.
Come on, read right.
And whom he will have, he hardeneth. Excuse me.
No, come on. It said whom he hardeneth.
And whom he hardeneth.
He said whom he hardeneth. You know what that means, to harden something? He said whom he hardeneth. You know what that means, Matthew? He said whom he hardeneth, meaning he make them go against him. You see what I'm saying? We have to realize how the Lord operates. He said whom he hardeneth. We always wonder, why do the so-called white man worship the devil? Why do they, we was in high school, we got the goth. You know what I'm saying? They just got this spirit on them where they're just against God. Read that from the top, get that part again.
And whom he will have hardeneth. Excuse me. Therefore he will have mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will, he hardeneth.
Whom he will, he hardeneth. Meaning he make them go against him. We like, oh, well, what about the so-called white man? The Lord don't love him? No. The Lord said whom he hardeneth. The Lord hardened him so he can destroy him. It's going to tell you that in the scripture. Read.
Thou wilt say then unto me, why do you yet find fault?
The Lord, you hear the Lord said? He said, you going to say to me, why you find fault with them? Watch this. Read that part again.
Thou wilt say then unto me, why do he yet find fault? For who have resisted his will?
Who can resist the will of the Lord? They can't stop. They can't. And we see an example of it. They don't love the Lord. They say, so how you find fault with them, Lord? They know what the Lord said. And I bet you're going to say to me, why you find fault with him? Who can resist you, Lord? Watch what the Lord say.
Nay, but O man, who art thou that repliest against God?
Who are you to say something to me about what I'm doing? That's what the Lord is saying. Read.
Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me dust? Have thou not the power over the clay?
So like a potter, make like a potter have power over his clay, what he made. He said, don't he have power over that? Because the Lord made us. Read.
Of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor.
He said, I can make one lump, which is the Israelite, one vessel to honor. Read.
And another unto dishonor.
And another one to dishonor. Watch this.
Word of God, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endure with much long suffering.
What did he endure with much long suffering? This right here. He just like this right here. He allowed this because we broke his law, and he sat and watched how they went extra, Jay. They went extra of how they dealt with us. Outside of how the Lord wanted them to deal with us. They went extra. They went the extra mile. Read.
Endured with much long suffering, the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction.
What did God call the so-called white man?
The vessels of wrath fitted to destruction.
They were created to be destroyed. He said fitted, meaning fitted, formed, created to be destroyed. He said they're the vessels of wrath, fitted for destruction. That's the only reason he made them. That's the only reason he made the so-called white man. And once that's over, once he's done with them, they're going to be off the earth.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role